Hey, Aquarius, Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your June 2025 career and money reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome, Aquarius. You are escaping something that felt very hidden, very unethical, perhaps very sly, or a part of yourself may have even been in denial about a situation, but I feel like there's a big win coming in because there's truth, there's honesty, and there's authenticity. So some sort of breakthrough is coming in for you that's going to allow you to enter a new portal, enter a new chapter of your world. You have the Seven of Wands showing up at the bottom of the deck. This is the Seven of Fire, which is about standing up for yourself. It is about you non-conforming and living life on your terms instead of feeling like you are being pushed around. Perhaps there's been accusations, or you felt like there's been a fight or flight, like I'm fighting, the defenses have gone up, it feels like there's pressure coming in from all angles. I feel like that's what you are releasing, that's what you're leaving behind, and you're advocating for yourself. You may be moving forward into a stronger, more confident version of you, Aquarius, and you're saying, I deserve more, I deserve better, I deserve respect. Therefore, because that has been challenged, there's been a shift in energy and dynamic, which is bringing about massive change. You have the change card here, you have the death card as well. So there is a liberation of sorts. You're liberating yourself from the Seven of Wands in reverse, walking on eggshells, feeling like you are pressured or cornered, and you're saying, wait a second, why am I living life that way? I am going to advocate for my own well-being. I am going to stand strong in my own convictions, and I'm going to hold my beliefs and my values and my morals with integrity. So you are a warrior here, and I feel like there's no stopping you in the month of June. Now, you have the coins card, you have awards, and you have the nugget. This is a powerful duo. When you get the coins and the nugget together, there's an increase. So in the recent past, I feel like this is a small increase of confidence is what I'm getting here for you. It didn't happen overnight. You had to build up to this momentum here, and valuable information has come through from your higher self. And I feel like that information you really took to consideration, and you got honest with yourself, and that allowed you to have a fresh start. And that's why we are starting off with this transformative energy of the death, because you are stepping out of the old caterpillar stage and being freed by the wings of the butterfly. You have gone through that cocoon, and I see here that there's steady work ahead. You are building a very solid career for yourself, and I see that you're tapping into the flow of abundance, where in the past perhaps it felt a little kinked, or it felt like there were some blockages that you've been healing, that you have been working on. Now, I will tell you this, Aquarius, I feel like you are built for spiritual wealth. Now, of course, wealth can show up in many different forms, but spiritual wealth is purpose, it's passion, it's mission. It is part of your divine blueprint. So you've been doing the soul work is what I'm hearing here for you. Now, you have the coins showing up in the month of June. So this is an increase in confidence, an increase in vitality, and also an increase in money. This is about wealth, spiritual wealth, but also monetary. So you may be investing in a home, in your business, investing in some new blessings and opportunities that are coming in. You may even be in the line of work that includes sales or finance, perhaps accounting. For some of you, I feel like you are really, really good at selling if you believe in it. There's something here about marketing, like marketing and advertising, or, sales in the context of how can I bring in more sales. So some of you are working with that vibe this month, but I see that the vibe for you, because you're listening to the divine downloads, you're actually seeing a big increase. So you could be getting a raise. This could be your lucky break. And for those of you that do play the slot machines or the lotto, or you like to, grab a pull tab every now and again, I feel like there could be a winner chicken dinner showing up for you as well. And there is another sign. It was either Capricorn or Sagittarius that also received like a winner type of vibe. And I'm kind of getting that here. Maybe you are connecting with a Cap or a Sag during this win, because it feels like you deserve this, you've earned it, but I feel like you've also put a lot in to get that return. So it could even be like a return of interest or return on something that you've put a lot of time or money or energy into. I feel like it's paying off, because in the future we have the award. There's the winning money. Beautiful. This is a payoff for your effort. And I see here that you have been going through a lot of changes, and I keep getting soul work, soul purpose, soul mission for you, Aquarius. So again, it feels like it's so much more than just that the material piece. Even though that's here, I feel like this is your livelihood. This is your spiritual divine blueprint that you're tapping into here. And you are recognized for your gifts and your skills and your talents. This is also about advancement. So some of you, there very well could be an actual award. Maybe it's a trophy, perhaps it's a plaque. Some of you, this is going to be a certification. You may even receive some sort of honors or accolades for perhaps you've hit the tier of sales, or you have like employee of the month. It just feels like there's a really big accomplishment and people are complimenting you on a job well done. Now, this can also be the energy here of fame. So some of you could be hitting a big milestone. Perhaps you're an influencer. You could be an actor. Perhaps you are a podcaster, or you show up in the public eye in some way or form. And I see here that those efforts are going to bear fruit, and it could certainly bring more energy towards you if that is what you're looking for. Maybe this is views. This could be clients. It feels like social media is significant here for some of you, or there could even be a shout out on social media regarding something that you've done, or a service or good that you've provided. I just feel like this is a very good thing for you. And it could even be like a Google review, where someone leaves you a really good Google review that actually attracts other clients to you or other business. I'm also getting here, if you have applied for a new job or a new position, someone could be writing a letter of recommendation, or someone has some sort of input into if you get that job. It just feels like there's someone looking out for you here, of course in the spiritual, but certainly could be in the physical as well. So there could be a word of mouth that is highly in your favor that could kind of tip the scales into your direction, is what I'm getting. Now you have the underworld showing up here, and I feel like this is what you are rising up from. And you see on the underworld card, there's a picture here of a firearm with money bags, and it says you're finding unconventional ways to explore new sources of income. So if you felt like you were in the golden handcuffs, as they call them, or if you felt stuck or trapped in your current position, I feel like that is coming to an end. If you dealt with anything unethical, or if you were dealing with a boss or a coworker who may have stolen from you, or they may have been doing things in an unfair way that had caused you to say, wait a second, this isn't right, or I don't want to dive into this. I feel like you are growing and moving in a different direction, because as the world evolves, so can your means of income. And you may even be in a line of work that it wasn't very big 10 or 20 years ago, right? It could be something that's up and coming. Some of you, maybe it's a startup business for yourself, or you are connecting to a startup business. But I see that there's big changes ahead for you, and you could be dealing with the world at large, maybe some of the struggles or challenges that are going on in the economy, or, politics, or whatever underworld means for you, Aquarius. I see that there has been a ripple effect, but it feels like the death card is saying, I'm not going to let that drag me down to the pits of, darkness. I feel like you're rising up here. You have the upper hand with that 7 of fire. Now, starting off your reading, as I mentioned, you do have the death card here. So this is massive transition. It's change and liberation. But what I see you doing is rising up like the phoenix. It's showing up in the upright position, which means you're not resisting change. In fact, you're all for it. It's like you've been butting up on the edge of the glass ceiling for quite some time, trying to break at it, trying to burst your way out of it. And I feel like now is the time. You finally have the willpower, the stamina, or maybe the financial means, or whatever it may be that was holding you back, maybe some emotional blockages or avoidance of some sort. It feels like you're finally able to crash through that glass ceiling and get to this level that you've been working so hard, Aquarius, to get to. Because what's crossing your energy is the 10 of Pentacles. For some of you, this is retirement. For others of you, it's paying off debt. You finally feel like you're making a dent. It could even be stability in the sense of like stock markets, cryptocurrency. Even though crypto is not always, stable, neither is the stock market, but it feels like you are kind of taking it with, I don't want to say a grain of salt, but it feels like you are adjusting to the highs and the lows without making any rash, impulsive decisions here. The 10 of Pentacles is the energy of long-term stability, financial security, and wealth. This is legacy, retirement. It's a feeling of, I did it here in the material or physical world. Now, sometimes this can be the Wall Street card as well. So you may be seeing some loss, but I do feel like that loss will rebalance out as long as you are patient, which is easier said than done, I know. But I do see that the death card is a comeback, right? The comeback here of it. And excuse me. You are creating that legacy right here, right now. And you are making some powerful choices in your career that will advance you, that will get you recognized and noticed. So even though it feels like this is a challenge at times with the debt that has accumulated, or maybe some sort of family drama, but I feel like you're balancing out the material world and your emotional well-being. There's something here that is aligning in a bigger, better way for you. And that's why this chapter of your life needed to close, so you could fully embrace this 10 of Pentacles without limitations. And that's what chapter is closing out. What's below you? The 10 of Cups. Look at that. You have 2 of the best 10s here showing up. And this is Buddha. And I kept saying here, spiritual wealth, right? And it feels like the 10 of Cups, that's exactly what this is. Aquarius, it's important that you love what you do, or you feel like you're making a difference while you're doing it. You want to have that level of emotional and spiritual satisfaction. And that's why Buddha is showing up. Now, some of you could even be open to like a spiritually based business, or this could be a side gig that includes healing arts, healing work. This may even have to do with your own family. You may be making some financial changes that are going to set your family up for long-term success. So the laughing Buddha is coming in your foundation. So this tells me that you are you are built for success. You're built for that spiritual wealth, which is what I said here in the beginning. So I see that there's going to be a couple of opportunities. Right beside Buddha, you actually see two beautiful roses that are starting to open, that are starting to blossom. Now, there's a lot of ending energy here, but what's blossoming here is a beautiful new beginning. And this new beginning, which could be a shift in perspective, it could be a new job, it could be the start of a new life in a new location, in a new place. But I feel like this is where it's at. This is what you've been working so hard to achieve. It's here. It's coming in. It's crossing your path for a reason. In the past position, you have here the messenger of earth. This is the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight. And sometimes it can be frustrating how slow this knight is. But I'll tell you this, he is dependable. He is reliable. And he is someone who is trustworthy and detail oriented, and he gets things done the right way the first time around. So he can possibly even retire early, or he can do it right so it will succeed, it will last. And that's what I see here happening is even if something has taken a little bit of time for you, it's going to be solid. It's going to lead to that 10 of Pentacles. Because you have the award, you have the nugget, you have the coin here. And even if there's been some of the underworld that's pulled you down from time and time again, I mean, these can even be our own thoughts, Aquarius. This can be our own mind that plays tricks on us, that kind of takes us to these deep, dark spaces of like, who am I to deserve this win? Or do I really have what it takes to grow my business? Or, you know, whatever it is that the mind kind of gets entangled with that could be challenging at times. I feel like you're retraining your brain, right? Through neuroplasticity, you are retraining yourself to look for miracles, look for abundance, and look for the opportunity to grow. And therefore, that's what you're seeing, right? What you focus on grows. Now, you do have the Two of Earth. This is the Two of Pentacles above you. I have a feeling some of you are weighing up some pros and cons here at this time, or there could be two paths ahead. You may have two options. So for example, let's say you have found a dream home and you're excited about it, but the next day another home comes on the market and you're like, whoa, wait a second. I've been searching and searching and searching, but not only one, there's two. So it feels like there could be a couple of blessings lining up for you, and it could be difficult for you to choose between two of the better blessings, but you will know which one is in your highest good because you have this ability with the 10 of Cups to tune into your own intuitive awareness. But I also see that there could be some choices that you make with family. It might not just be you making that choice or decision, but you may be weighing up options with family. Like, what is in the highest good here? I also see that you're very good at multitasking. Some of you have a couple of different projects up in the air at this time. Some of you may be working in the corporate world, but yet building a side gig. So try not to burn the candle at both ends where you're exhausting your resources or you're feeling burnt out. But I definitely feel like you have the ability to, focus on maybe one or two things. And if anything else is past that, you could feel a little bit drained. So just be mindful of that. But I see that you are working hard for your success. But stay present, stay in the moment. That's going to be key. Focusing on what's right in front of you as well. Even though we have some long-term goals and things of that nature, you don't want to get lost focusing so far out here that you lose sight of what you are building and growing right here. Four of Cups is a turning point. For some of you, the reason why this death energy is here is because you felt stagnant. You felt maybe impatient, frustrated, bored, or you lacked inspiration. You lacked the momentum to to feel satisfied. And that's where you want to return to, that 10 of Cups. So if there were situations or environments or even people that you were involved with that lacked inspiration, I feel like you're growing, what, right? But you are going where you will grow. So going where you will grow, you have shifted your vibration, meaning you are going to attract helpful people. You are going to attract abundance here because you know your worth and you will not settle for less than you deserve. So there's a shifting or a turning point coming in after feeling a bit of dissatisfaction or just feeling discontent with how things were. This is the turning point that you have been working on manifesting. Now, how are you feeling? The Tower. So you're feeling like things at times are out of your control. Like, how can I rebuild this 10 of Pentacles? Maybe some of you have even went through a divorce or you've went through some family dynamics that it feels like they've gotten you into a little bit of a pickle, right? But I feel like you're able to rebuild here. And some of you, there's even been a loss of a loved one and maybe there's an inheritance coming your way. But I see here that you are restructuring your life in some way. Yes, it's been very difficult, very heavy. I'm sending you a lot of love, Aquarius, but I also see that you are strong. You are wise. And the Tower here is about destroying old structures that were based on a faulty foundation. Therefore, there's a massive spiritual awakening happening within you. And you may have even gone through like a near-death experience yourself, or you've gone through a sudden change that disrupted your life in a big way. But I feel like it was to destroy the old structures that were built on some sort of illusion or assumptions. And now you're able to kind of start fresh where there's money coming in, as I mentioned earlier. And there's money coming in and you're going to take that money here, or you're going to take some of the savings that you are acquiring. And I feel like you're going to go all the way. I really do, because this is built on something solid and you're addressing the cracks in the foundation here. As I mentioned earlier, if there's been any setbacks or delays, I feel like instead of pushing your way through with force, you are seeing your way through with compassion, awareness, and understanding. We have Justice. Oh, wow. There's definitely been something imbalanced, maybe a legal situation, or again, some sort of money that was owed to you. As I said earlier, this could be, again, like VA, alimony. It could be insurance claims, something that you have applied for. I feel like it's now coming back to you, or it feels like there's going to be in the environment some sort of accountability with the Justice card here. And it's about judgment. So there's been maybe a judgment that is being put out there in a way of consequences. So consequences for action. Basically, this is the law of cause and effect. What goes around comes around. So if you have been putting good work in, and if you've been doing what you've needed to do to grow and to succeed and to thrive, this is a good karmic reward coming your way. Basically dharma, right? We have karma, we have dharma, but I see here that justice is showing up in your favor. Those scales are tipping in your favor. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Hierophant. You are a very wise teacher. For some of you, you have worked on letting go of limiting beliefs. This is about wisdom. It's higher power. It's mentorship. It is the teacher. It is the ones who shape us. It is the energies that shape us, whether through society, through our family traditions, our upbringing, our friends. It can be our religion, our spiritual practices. And I see here that you are committing to this path. You're committing to your purpose. And by doing so, it will bring you the happiness and the joy that you seek. But not only that, the awards and the accolades. So it's an energy here of privilege. Not entitlement, right? There's a difference, and we all have seen people who have felt entitled to something, and maybe you yourself have dealt with family members or people that you've worked with that have felt entitled, or maybe there was a part of yourself at some point or another, but you are replacing that entitlement, or maybe someone else is taking accountability and saying, wait a second, that didn't last because it was based on fear, or it was based on greed or materialism. Therefore, it doesn't have the sticking power. It doesn't have the life force behind it, and it crumbles. And I see that whatever you are committing to, it's based in love. It's based in spiritual alignment. Now, you also could be an influencer of some sort, where you could be writing a book, or you may be sharing your gifts, your stories, maybe opening up your own practice. I get that here for some of you. You may have a practice that you share with others, other like-minded individuals as well. Perhaps you've went in with family on a home, or it could even be like a family business of some sort. But I do see that if there's been any issues or challenges around finances, that there could even be someone of professional integrity that comes in and kind of helps you out. Maybe it's a lawyer, perhaps this is a mediator of some sort, but I do feel like there's going to be the kinks are being ironed out for you at this time. Now, your outcome is the Queen of Cups, Queen of Water. Beautiful. This is my intuitive healer energy. She is someone who fosters genuine connections. You are either tapping into the archetype here of the Queen of Water, Aquarius, where you're getting in touch with your emotional side here, and you have a love for what you do. You want to help people. You want to be of service. You are a healer, a tarot reader, a psychic, or someone who is in the caring profession, or perhaps you have had to take care of a loved one, perhaps an aging loved one, or you may even be in hospice, or I'm getting doula or midwifery. So Queen of Cups could be you, or it could be someone who is here to help guide you in some way. Maybe this is your personal business coach or psychic or intuitive that is helping you move forward to achieve what it is that you have come here to achieve in the financial or material world. But I see, again, it's more than just that. It's spiritual wealth as well. All right, let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. And this is interesting here. I'm getting sevens. They're actually showing me at first I thought it was a slot machine with 777 across it, but it actually could be like a lottery ticket with 777. So sevens could be a lucky number. Now, I'm not saying go play the lottery or go playing slots, but just know that when 7 comes to you, and actually they're showing me the 7 of Wands, it feels like the 7 is going to be favorable. So if you see sevens either on a license plate, Aquarius, or perhaps, maybe 777 is a number that shows up, maybe when you're filling up your gas tank, or hopefully it doesn't take that much to fill your gas tank, but you never know, maybe you're getting diesel. But I feel like the 7 is a good omen. Maybe it's on the grocery store receipt, right? $77.77. It just feels like you are spiritually aligned with the energy of abundance, because 7 is a highly spiritual number. Now you have the Observer card here, card 49. Some of you may be 49 years old. And this is all about perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. It is an advantageous time for you to maybe get some distance, okay? Get some distance. That could be that death energy from what you're doing, to see your work and your projects from a different perspective. We just said that here earlier as well. So the trick is to connect to the essence of your goals. That's the 10 of Cups that's showing up in your foundation. That's the essence. That's the spiritual piece. while letting the form and the timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Trust spirit. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. And that came up earlier as well with the Two of Earth above you. Something is right here in front of you, Aquarius. And I feel like you are remaining neutral. That's the message. Remain neutral, remain curious, and watch as this miracle unfolds. Because there is something beautiful that is lining up. The Four of Cups says you are shifting that perspective from disappointment or from hopelessness or loss of some sort or boredom. You're shifting it to inspiration. You're shifting it and turning maybe some sort of impatience or boredom into inspiration and excitement. So I feel like there's a really big turn here. So watch as this turn unfolds for you. And I do see that you are looking at other points of view, right? Because there's a beautiful vista waiting for you to drink it in. And you may need a little bit of extra help. And if so, that's where that Queen of Cups shows up, because there's the moon here. You see that this beautiful fox is looking through the telescope at the moon. So pay attention to maybe even the new moon, or even the waning moon in the month of June, because that could be a time where you're starting to see the fruits of your labor pay off, because divine timing has its place. And I think June here for you with this transformative energy and these tens that are showing up are going to be game changers. Now, there's the change card with the butterfly. You also have entry level. So for some of you, you may feel like you are starting at the beginning, but I actually feel like you get to the top quite quickly. Okay, if you have to kind of go back and start something over, and that's because it's based now on a stronger foundation where you are steady, you are showing up, remember, as that Knight of Pentacles. It feels like there's a steady hand in this, and you have a follow-up. Beautiful. So the follow-up could be for an interview. It could be that you are connecting with someone and you really vibe with them. It's a partnership, some sort of negotiation where there could be another meeting or another agreement. But I feel like the justice scales here are leaning in your favor. But don't be surprised if there is an additional date or an additional, again, meeting that shows up from some sort of opportunity for you. Okay, second interview, or second, maybe it's a court date, but I feel like it's a good thing because it can gather evidence, gather information, so those scales can tip here in your favor. Now let's get a message from your spirit animals. At this time, if you can safely do so, Aquarius, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale through the nose. Hold it for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and release through your mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky or swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, or even mystical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's visited through your dreams, or maybe even crossed your path recently in the great outdoors. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you're ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals in the comment section below, and I will enter you personally into the free reading giveaway, where I draw one winner around the first of the month and post right back here on the community tab. So be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. All right, Aquarius, you could be born on the 19th or the 25th. Some of you are hitting a big milestone birthday this year, maybe 40 years old or 50. You have elephant spirit. Learn from the past. This is a powerful month of transformation. That death card is about liberating yourself. It's the phoenix rising. You don't have to resist changes. Not that I feel like you are, but some of you feel like you've spiraled back around. It feels like you've taken a couple steps forward just to take 5 back, and you're like, when am I going to get out of this dance? When am I going to finally feel like I'm making progress here? You have learned valuable lessons, and this reminds me of the deity Ganesh, who is the beautiful elephant with all the arms, right? Remover of obstacles. So you actually have here Rhino spirit, which says overcoming any obstacle. So I feel like you have added or even additional help or support this month from either family, from people in your corner, from perhaps that letter of recommendation, or someone here who really values your skills. They value what you bring to the table. I feel like that is a new doorway that you are opening up, and you're going to go all the way with it. And any obstacles are going to get out of the obstacle phase and onto the let's make it happen phase. Now, right now, it might be tending to the small things with mouse spirit showing up. So there could be some loose ends to tie up as you are fully emerging from the wreckage or from some sort of transformation that has occurred. So I do feel like you're tying up loose ends, as the saying goes, making sure your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted. I feel like you are looking at the minute details of things here. And then lastly, you have dog spirit. And I just heard here, say that again, spirit, kimchi or kim. Isn't kimchi a food? Does someone have a pet named after a food? I mean, it may not be kimchi or kimmy or kimchi, but maybe you have a dog named like crackers, or a dog named waffles or something of that nature. So I do have here a possible pet that's named after a food. But it says be loyal to what you love. It's number 19. In tarot, 19 is the sun. So if you are loyal to that beautiful heart of yours, I feel like you have already won. You've already set yourself up for success, okay, by remaining loyal to your path. Beautiful. Some of you may even be groomers or dog groomers, or you could have a pet that you may be paying to get groomed in the month of June, especially if you have a pet that loves to roll around in the mud or roll around in the dirt. And I'm also getting like a zoo or an exotic animal fair. Some of you could be attending an event where there are animals. And lastly here, let's get a message from your soul's truth. Does your life, Aquarius, have room for more pleasure and play? In what area are you lacking pleasure right now? Is it in your work? Is it in your career? Is it possible to shift the seriousness of life to experiencing a more creative, wild, and playful side of you? Remember the laughing Buddha. This is in your foundation. So if you feel like you haven't had a lot of fun with that Four of Cups, as I mentioned, if you haven't felt like you've been inspired, or if you felt bored with what you're doing, remember your why. Remember why you started doing something in the first place, and try not to let the entanglement of some sort of energy around you in the past keep you small. You're not meant to play small. Not with this award here. You don't get that award by playing small. You got to risk it here. And I feel like you are also having more fun This is that creative, wild, and playful side of you that is coming out with that Queen of Cups. What would happen, Aquarius, if you added more play and laughter into your life? What area is lacking this right now? Take time to play. Let go of any need to produce anything right at this time. Okay, that's coming for you. I do see that you've been working really hard, but allow yourself in the month of June to let your hair down, right? To play and to have fun and to remember that you are a creative magician, that the work that you're doing is like your canvas, and you can take that paintbrush and you can create anything that you want here. As long as it brings you happiness, I feel like the money will follow. That is what I have for you, Aquarius. If you enjoyed the reading, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of love.